How many get this lucky in life, huh? How many can say they've ever done this over here? Had a calf put their head in their lap and just love. Oh my goodness gracious, sweetie. You're such a pretty girl. I love her. Oh no, we got trouble. We got trouble brewing. We got trouble over here. Oh no. Hard to starboard, Lester, hard to starboard. We got trouble on the horizon over here on the starboard bow. Hey, settle down. Oh my goodness gracious. I have so much love. I have so much. She's looking me in the legs. Okay. Baby, please. People are going to talk about me. They're going to say horrible things about me. Letting all y'all lick all over me. Y'all, I did not invite this loving, okay? But I can't turn it down neither. Oh, them nubs hurt, sweetie. Guys, I got nubs sticking me all over the place. I got so many Oh, stop it, that hurts she's biting in the knees. Okay, I'm leaving. Jeez, that hurts. Move your head, love. Move your head, baby. Move your head, sweetie. I love those girls. Hey folks, Lester and Jamie here, and we are about 3 or 4 minutes early. That never happens. That never happens. I was jonesing to go, and I'm sitting here like 30 minutes beforehand, just ready. Jamie's doing this and that. I don't know how she can manage to be getting dressed and vacuum at the same time. Getting dressed, vacuum, she's sweeping.
Laundry, dishes.
She also reached down while she was vacuuming with a pair of scissors and cut off a tag that was on one of the rugs. And I'm like, why don't we just go ahead and just go live?
Because Lester's sitting here like, and then I can hear the shaking of the leg.
My legs are shaking, my arm. Yeah, well, I'm reading the comments. I'm thinking, where are they? What's wrong? Where's it? Maybe there's a tropical storm coming. I just don't want to scare everybody. So we're here. We're just trying to be punctual at 8 o'clock, and I don't want to go too early. And then people get a habit of us going early. Now, we're never late. I don't think we've ever been late, have we?
I'm late on Tuesdays.
You're late, but I'm never late.
Usually only like a minute or two. Like I've never been more than 3 minutes late, but I'm usually coming in hot on Tuesday. It's at 7 instead of 8. 7 in the summer is hard.
7 in the summer is hard, but because it's still daylight outside and there's still work to be done, and we don't really like to even feed until around 7. Because it's too hot for the animals to eat any earlier.
Well, I don't get done work until 5 or 5:30, and then I go outside and start my chores. And my chores take about 2 hours long. And Tuesdays, I'm coming in hot, and you're having to pick up whatever I didn't get done.
Well, I feel bad because Jamie, don't think she only does chores one time a day. Jamie does chores in the morning before I even wake up. My normal wake up time is this is natural. Now I can wake up earlier, or I can sleep later if I'm allowed to, but I naturally start waking up around 7-ish. I don't like to get all the way out of the bed until as close to 8 as possible. Why are you making that face for? What's that face about? Jamie's already gotten up a lot earlier. I don't know how, but here's the difference. She doesn't sleep at night. She's up all darn night. Not me. I sleep like a baby. Because I take a concoction, obviously.
Yeah, except for I think I sleep like a baby. I wake up every hour or two. You sleep like Lester. You sleep like Stella over here,
I don't know a darn thing. I don't know a darn thing. In saying so, Jamie said last night the dogs kept waking her up, wanting to go outside, and didn't know what's going on. But she woke up, let them out, and then she let them back in. Because here's the thing: they bark to go out. And then they have a different bark to come back in, and she can decipher those barks.
And they have an alarm bark, like something's really wrong. It's just, and it happens all like the last 2 nights has been all night long.
Our dogs are no different than your dogs. Everyone knows that your dogs do some really neat and just remarkable things, but what she says is true about having the dogs having like an alarm bark, because like I said, Jamie will wake up in the morning and go out and do a lot of her chores that need to get done before she starts her work calls. And if I end up sleeping past my normal time, even though Jamie will usually leave the door open so the dogs can come back and forth, they come to the bedroom to get me up, and they will come to the edge of the bed and like hit me in the arm. And Millie will not bark, but she'll like, oh, oh, oh,
Like she gives this like
cry,
undertone.
this
Yeah.
like this growl from deep within. But no, we love them so much. I don't understand what everyone's saying, Jamie. There's a lot of stuff in the comments going around. Not sure what's happening, but if it's something that's bothering you, just ignore it, y'all. You don't have to reply to
I
comments.
don't think they're doing that. I think they're talking about what time that they wake up in the morning.
Oh, that's not what I saw, but
Sorry, I missed what you saw then.
no, it's okay. I will let Jamie talk a little bit about what's going on with Ernie. And we'll start off with that because it's probably the number one question everybody has. And that's also our biggest concern right now.
So yesterday I did his Fibonacci test, which is you pull the eyeball, the lid over the top, and then you pull the bottom open and you test the color. And you want it to be pink, like the color of salmon is the best thing that could happen. And Ernie's is not pink. Ernie's is white. And that is really bad. That means that his blood count is low.
It looks like anemic. If you're anemic,
Yeah.
you lose a lot of your color.
Which we knew that Ernie was anemic. And I didn't do it whenever we left the hospital. I didn't think to say, show me it now so I could have a comparison. But I had a number count on his discharge paperwork to go by. And it looks worse to me. So I got really worried yesterday. I called A&M and they said, is he eating? Is he drinking? Is he using the restroom? The ride home was probably not great for him. See what it looks like and call us in the morning. So this morning, it was a little bit more pink and I got really excited. I took a deep breath. We actually took time today to go to Lufkin to pick up some more hay feeders. And initially, yesterday I wasn't going to go, but today I was like, Ernie looks better. I saw him eat and drink, use the restroom, all those things. So I feel better. This afternoon, though, back again. And I don't know what to think about it because the other thing that's happening is he doesn't have an appetite today, like at all. He took his iron supplement this morning and I give that to him with a few animal crackers, and the animal crackers are what I'm luring him with the animal crackers so I can put my arms around him to do the eye test. But he didn't eat hay. He really took a few bites of grain and that was it. And he just has no appetite. And that is not great for us. And he's very lethargic. He was laying earlier, but he still had his head up. Yesterday was head down. Today I saw his head go down twice, but it came back, I guess I'm hyper aware and hypersensitive to all of the things right now, but I can just see the fatigue in him and in his eyes. He did use the restroom and that was normal in front of me today. So that's a plus, but the rest is not good.
And then to answer Miss Connie's question about maybe taking him back to A&M for more blood work, guys, I don't think it's easy to, well, you can't explain to some people, but he did not do well in the trailer. And I think that was a bigger stress on him. Now, obviously being sick, and sometimes you just have to do what you have to do, but alpaca in general do not do well in transport.
The stress for him could make things way worse than they are today. And I'm worried. And as soon as we're done here, or hopefully A&M will call me back, even if we're live, but I don't know what else to do. And even a blood transfusion would mean that trailer ride, and that trailer ride could push him over the edge. And that's like a really scary risk.
So they gave us an oral iron concoction to give him. And so we're doing that, and he's eating that fine. So he's taking his iron, and so that will work over time. And we're just going to be patient and just keep doing what we can do. And we're going to keep him comfortable and keep trying to find ways to make one day better than the other. But like Jamie said, he starts off in the mornings okay, but throughout the day, it wears on him. The days wear on him. And by the afternoon and the evening, he's just looking like he's just beat. So.
And coming to us is, I don't think that they could do a blood transfusion here. That took like equipment. It took them monitoring, and then there was this risk of reaction. I'll ask all of those questions whenever we talk to them, but A&M isn't coming here. I can tell you that. A&M doesn't do house calls.
No.
So I don't know that answer, but getting blood out of Annie or Indy to be able to transfuse to him feels like,
well, we're
foreign.
not.
Like there wouldn't be able to, like, I don't know how we would even catch Indy to do that, and without overstressing Indy on top, and then Annie on top of it. Like,
no, Annie's not doing anything. We're not doing anything with Annie. Annie, she wouldn't do that. She would fight the entire time.
Yeah.
So it's not easy, friends, and it's always hard to explain to people if they don't know. And so all we can do is let you know that we're not going to just sit here and do nothing. We're doing all that we can, and we're not sparing any expense. So it's not a matter of us not wanting to spend a few dollars. We will do what we have to do. And you were generous enough. Thank you so much for the giving with the Voodoo that I think we already said this. We paid off that entire bill with Ernie already. And so thank you so much for that. But I just don't think you understand how difficult the ride, the trailer was for him, because when we left A&M, he was even better than when we got home 2.5 hours later when he did not look good. So we're going to keep working, but just know that we're trying the best that we can. And for anyone who's known us for any amount of time, I hope you know that we do try. Well, you know that we do try. There's going to be people who are always going to second guess everything, but we're trying our best, y'all.
Yeah, the only other thing that's possible is some B12, but if he has if his stomach is an issue right now, which they can get ulcers, and that could be from the supplements, that could be from everything, that's going to make him not eat. And then the B12 could also disrupt that. Like, they're very sensitive and they're ruminant animals. So to think about, they have stomachs, and the rumen is like the juice that helps them digest. And when we ride in that trailer, that gets super disrupted, not only from stress, but the actual trailer ride. And it takes some time to recover from that when they're healthy. So you add that onto Ernie's circumstance, and he's just fighting hard. And I will tell you, he's drinking. So he'll drink from the hose, which is really awesome. And he has not refused an animal cracker yet. So I know there's not much nutrition in animal crackers.
Yeah, he can't live on that alone, even though that is a nice way to get him to walk over and let you do all that you have to do, having that little treat in your pocket. Same as it was for Voodoo, having that mint, that peppermint. Yeah. He would do anything for a peppermint.
Yeah, mints, peanut butter crackers, or just Captain's wafers. Like, I know that when they're sick that you can't just live off of snacks, but at the same time, you have to do tiny things to be able to accomplish the big things. And it's just it's very touch and go. And I was really happy about this morning, but I am not pleased again with this evening. And even last night when you went out there and brought him some hay, he would eat it.
Tonight, he would at least eat from the hand.
Tonight he's not eating any hay.
He doesn't even care about hay right now. But we don't like to start off the live with gloom. I'm not saying that all is lost, but we just know that it's still touch and go. We don't want to give you a false sense of hope, and then everyone get upset if we end up having to share bad news. So just know that we're working and we're staying on top of this. We're not spending much time anywhere else. It's mostly all focused on Ernie, along with everything else that we got going on. So we are trying, guys. We're trying. So, okay.
Are you looking for me to talk?
Well, are we done with the Ernie update?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So prayers for Ernie, and we'll be good. Another question that keeps popping up is, I'm guessing that people are very invested in the Jake and his. This is my nephew Jake, shirtless Jake, and his quest for land. Jake is looking for a place to live. And this is something else that I feel like we're going to go off on a wrong foot here. But listen, I'll just say it this way over here. Me and my dad, we talked at length today, very long. We had a long talk when I went by to visit the sanctuary and to pick up Lex. I had to take him back to his mom. And me and Dad sat for a while and we just talked. And guys, I'll tell you this, and I don't think it's any surprise to anybody. And jump in, Jamie, whatever you feel free to jump in. But I know my dad feels disappointment in the fact that, first Tina and Rob decided to move and start, fresh somewhere else. And then Jamie and I were behind them a few years later, to come start us somewhere else. And of course, now Jake and Lissa are looking to try to find something else going on. And I understand that was not my dad's hopes and dreams of what he envisioned, to become everyone at some point off and go do their own thing. And that's not something that any of us ever thought we'd be doing. But you have to understand, and this, once again, it's kind of like talking about Ernie. If you don't see it with your own eyes, I don't think you get it. And let me just say that the development across the street well, I think that would be the key to everything. I think that was the first domino to fall. The fact that the land company sold all of those thousands of acres to be developed by a developer who cared more about what he could do in that neighborhood and everything else, And so it's just a mess. It's just a mess. And like I told my dad, I says, the thing is, you're looking at Plum Grove the way it was when you grew up, the way it was when your dad was a boy growing up, the way it was for all those generations. I says, but the thing is, that's not the same Plum Grove. It's not the same Plum Grove. And with the flooding concerns, and then this is where I have to kind of laugh and chuckle at a lot of the folks who keep saying, raise your house higher, raise your house. Guys, you can't raise your pastures. And so even if you could financially find a way to raise your home higher, you still have to deal with the fact that you have animals. And that was a thing that maybe was the one biggest factor that pushed me and Jamie to look. It was a lot of little things, but the biggest thing is it had flooded us 3 times at that point in the last 3 years. And so it wasn't just Jamie and I looking out for ourselves. It was us trying to look out for hundreds of farm animals, knowing that there's no trailer, there's no time to move that many animals. There's nowhere to move that many animals. So what Jamie and I did against my parents' wishes was something that we did for our future, for our animals, for our livelihood with you all. The fact that you put us, in a way, you put us as caretakers of all those babies. And we knew that just by sitting there on our hands doing nothing, it wasn't going to change. You cannot go backwards and remove the development. And so, and help me. I don't know why you're not helping me on any of this. Bottom line is, I understand that my dad is upset and disappointed. I get it. But I also understand why Jake is doing what Jake's doing. I get it.
There's so many more things, though. Like the
and
school
for the lady who keeps saying Sue, Sue, Sue.
It goes nowhere.
I don't think
there's nowhere to go with that. But at the end of the day, I don't think that anyone can fathom what it's like to have a place of 600 people grow to 75,000 in 2 years with one road in and one road out.
One road in and one road out. And there was 600 people for years. All of my life, all of my dad's life, all of my grandfather's life. There was a few homes, a few people, and that was fine.
And I'm not talking about just the roads or just the volume of people. I'm talking about what it does to school districts. The school district had a elementary, a middle school, a junior high, and a high school. And this was 3 years ago this started. In 2 more years, they will have 7 of each. And the long-term plan is to have a total of 35 schools in that district. They grow by 1,000 students a month. They can't keep track of anything, of who's supposed to be there, who's not, where kids live. The madness is not just about students inside that classroom. It's that the schools can't be built fast enough for a room. And there are viral videos that students at the high school have taken where they cannot physically walk down the hallway. It is a fire safety hazard. It is a learning hinderer for people who lived in those students.
So for Jake, who has a new son now, a baby boy who will one day be a student in one of these schools, along with the flooding concerns, the house they did all the repairs to recently got flooded, and it wasn't from a named storm; it was just a lot of rain, and here comes that river again. And so, it's just a lot of things. So I don't really want to take sides on this, because if I do, which side I'm going to take. The side that Jamie and I decided to do was go ahead and collect and save our monies and invest somewhere else.
But at the end of the day, no one, like, I left my family. My whole family lived within 10 minutes of each other in Illinois. I left my family to move to Texas to be a part of this. I still talk to my family every day. I'm still very much a part of my family. I still see them several times a year. But I left, and y'all aren't giving me that much of a hard time. Or if you do, I just don't read those in the comments, I guess. And Lissa left her family in Alaska.
I don't listen. I'm just going to say something, and this might offend a lot of people, especially women. And I don't mean it in a bad way, but I think that a man has an inherent, that might not be the right word, but we have like an inner duty to protect our family. Now, I'm sure, women, I know you do too. I know that you will protect your kids at all costs. I get that. But ours is a little bit different kind of a thing. And it goes beyond just making sure your kids are safe. It's just knowing that in all of the different areas, you want to provide and protect. And I will say this, I'm fearful, not so much of myself, because I think I can take care of myself, but I fear, what if Jamie or any of the ladies around Morrow Hill have a flat tire going home? I don't think 90% of you are aware of the crime, of the horrific crimes that have happened in that neighborhood right across the street. And so my dad's
on the street. Let's not even say across the street. On that one road that comes in and out.
It's like my dad says, well, as long as we're over here and they're over there, but it's not that easy, because we have to drive to get there. We have to drive to get out of there. I've asked Ellie and Megan, please don't leave at night. Please don't even go to the store. Mm-hmm. Do not leave. Don't, because I just don't think people get it. And I'm not going to sit here and try to badmouth and talk mess about people necessarily, but I will just say that if that kind of neighborhood moved into your neighborhood and you realize that at some point you can't beat it, I think that most everybody would say, you know what, it's time to start looking. And it's unfortunate that we've been there for generations. I mean, generation after generation. But like I tried to explain to my dad, he wouldn't listen. But what I tried to explain is it's not the same Plum Grove, Dad, as what you grew up in. And we do worry about our kids and our grandkids and all of those things. So I'm not here to defend Jake or any of that, but I just see when you guys bring up comments, I don't mind talking about it, but it's scary and it's sad. So
at the end of the day, to each his own. And I think that y'all should be supportive of decisions that people make, and just be happy that they're sharing their lives with you and their time with you, and showcasing and sometimes even including you on that journey. And it's not our decision to make for anyone else. And it's not yours, and it's theirs. And they're the ones that will handle those circumstances the same way that we have. And we are the first to admit that we have made mistakes. Also, when we were looking at properties, we had things come back that were blessings in disguise that we were really upset about as we were looking at properties, things that we never even shared with y'all, that were like, it's a roller coaster. So all I'll say is, like, it's similar to watching Netflix, except for on YouTube and Facebook, you get to have a comment section. And yeah. Netflix doesn't allow you to choose your own adventure. And I hate to say this, but neither do we. It's our life, and we're sharing it, and we love doing so, and we love having y'all along for the journey. But it is really defeating whenever someone just basically throws up disgust and then stirs the pot and has all this
Well,
drama.
so in kind of a funny way, but it's not funny. So you all know that in every unit, in every family unit, there's always going to be some drama. And with us, it's funny because now that a lot of other family members are on social media, it not only includes the drama amongst the immediate family, but it also includes a lot of other folks as well who are a part of the drama, which we include you all in that drama. In the old days, when it was just Lester making videos, there was no drama. You didn't know, or you didn't know nothing about anybody unless I told you what was going on. And I would do that on occasion. But now, with everybody doing their own version of their, sharing their life with you all, it kind of puts the drama with everybody. And in a horrible way, sometimes we end up picking sides. Not we, but you all will sometimes pick sides. And I understand right now there's a lot of drama with the horses, for example. Daniel and Kim getting horses. And the horse people are going to be horse people. And I'm not, though, I don't care. I don't care. Be horse people. If you know horses, then you know horses. But that doesn't, it really should not affect Jamie and I, because it's not our decision to get horses or not to get horses or what they do with the horses. But sometimes the things that happen on other channels will accidentally or maybe purposely overflow onto our channels. The same way what happens on our channels may overflow onto their channels. I don't know how that works. Is that what you were kind of saying, sort of?
Yeah. All I know is those horses are really pretty.
It's family drama, but it's a really big family now. With you all, it's a really big family. We have a lot of drama with everybody.
Think about that. Like, if you had a really small family and you go to family functions and it's all like pretty chill and quiet, and even if something upsets you, you don't really say anything. Think about the size of this family now, our social media family. If we were all in one room, somebody would hate what we cooked. Another person is mad because not everybody got up to do the dishes. Another person is mad because we want to play pinochle instead of euchre. And the kids are out back screaming. And like, it is true. Mayhem.
I mean, just today, and as a matter of fact, since I was sitting here, we started the live. I was in the green room at about 7:30.
Way too soon.
I'm sitting here on my phone.
He's like, "Are you almost ready?" And I just came in.
And on my phone during that time, I'm looking through my emails and then my WhatsApp messages, which a lot of folks have access to, to messages around. But a lot of the things that I'm reading about, things that came to me were your concerns with Lester. Please help Jake. The property he's looking at doesn't have this, or it doesn't have. And I'm like, if Jake knows, if he wants my advice, I'll be more than happy to share it with him. But it's not my place to go to Jake and say, hey, the property you're looking at, blah, blah. That's not my place, y'all. But I've talked to Jake. I've even offered my drone, if he wants to use my drone to do some flyovers. But this is Jake and Lissa's really exciting time for them.
Yeah.
That's not my place. And then another message was about the horses. You hate that they separated them horses. I don't know what's going on with the horses. I didn't even know about the horses until you all told me. I'm so very sorry. But Kim and Daniel, neither one asked for my advice on the horses. So it's not my place, as much as you think that it is.
You have to think about this too, because if there weren't videos, we still wouldn't know.
That's true. Now I've been to Plum Grove 3 times the last 3 days, and I'll go again tomorrow. So, but the thing is, that's not my place to go to Dan's house and try to figure out what's going on with the horses. Try to run over to Kim's and make sure this is going on with the horses, and then go to Jake's and figure out. That's not what we do. We're a family. But we're not that kind of family, y'all. We're not that kind of family. Neither would Daniel come over here to tell me what's going on, that you guys don't like Lester doing this or that. We're a family, and we'll be a family when you guys all decide to leave us. We'll still be a family. But it's not really our place to involve ourselves in other people's affairs. And it was easier in the old days before everyone had a channel sharing their life and their adventures, I know Brienne and Laramie are on their way back from Vegas. They didn't go to gamble. They didn't go to spend money. A lot of people were saying that must be nice when you have the kind of money to fly to Vegas. They took a nice trip, the two of them, but it's mostly for Laramie to do some football stuff, some fantasy football stuff, which is a great experience. Jamie's only been to Vegas once, but never got to experience Vegas. She had to go to a convention that was outside of the city.
In Henderson.
And I'm like, Jamie, you've never been down the strip?
Nope.
And so we don't know. We'll never have time to go. Not
I want
anytime
to, though.
soon. She
I
wants
want
to
to
go
so
experience
bad.
Vegas while she's still young enough to experience it. And I'm like, damn, I need a knee brace and probably a cart, maybe a tricycle or something to get around. But Vegas is a neat experience. I'm so happy that Bree got to go experience
Me too.
that.
I love that for her. That
Laramie's gone a few times, being in the service. He's traveled quite a bit, but Bree's never been to Vegas. So good for her to have a chance to go with her husband to a fun Vegas vacation.
You know what else happened yesterday? So of course I'm in
a scooter. Yeah, I need a scooter. Someone says you need a scooter. I do. I need a senior scooter, y'all.
I'm in a group chat with Bree and Steph, and we message every day about whatever. It could be anything in life, and it's just about life in general. And yesterday, I messaged Bree to ask her a question. Something.
Watch it in Vegas.
I forgot.
Jamie.
I forgot, and she was like, and I replied, and I said, "Oh my God, I just remembered you're in Vegas. I'm so sorry for bothering you." And she goes, "It's okay. I'm eating sushi and something else at PF Chang's," and I'm like, "Oh, hold on a second. Brianne Nash eats sushi. Amaro that eats sushi.
Raw fish. We don't eat raw fish.
And I've known Brianne now for 7 years and had no idea that there was another person on Morrow Hill that eats sushi the whole time. I get it and eat it in my car on the way home from Sam's or from HEB like a savage with my fingers because it's the only time I can eat sushi. And the whole time Brianne eats sushi and she's like, yeah, just nothing raw.
I've never been to PF Chang's. I've heard about it.
You've never been to PF Chang's?
Never. Is there even one in Houston?
Woodlands.
The Woodlands.
Yeah.
But I will never eat sushi. Never. It's not my thing. I've seen no. Oh, PF Chang's, maybe if they have Chinese fried rice, I'm down. But I'm not eating the sushi. That's just not my thing. And to each his own. To each his own. To all you folks who love some sushi.
You don't need raw fish. So sushi is not necessarily raw fish.
Listen, I just don't. It's not my thing.
You don't even know.
Well, I'm just not even going to try it. So don't make me.
It's fine. I'll go with Brianne.
Then you can go with Brianne. There you go.
I just didn't even know. Oh, somebody says that Lissa eats it too. Well, what do you know? All of a sudden, there's a girls' day.
We would have never known that if it weren't for you all. So thank you. No, I have. Now that's funny though.
You know, a lot of people are like, no sushi, yuck, yuck, yuck. I'm telling you that I thought the same thing. I did. I thought the same thing. And I was on a work trip. Most of my big experiences include a work trip where everyone around me was eating it. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. Because if you think about some of the sushi that I love has like crab meat in it, cooked crab meat. It's cold with like avocado, cucumber. It's wrapped in seaweed and then sticky rice. The seaweed has no flavor whatsoever. It's literally like the holder together glue. And you love rice. You don't love avocado, but you've never probably tried avocado, to be honest. Anyway, there are all kinds of varieties. The ones that I get at HEB have like the French fried onions on top of it with a little like sauce. Oh my God, so good, a little spicy.
I'm sorry to mess you up
mayonnaise.
Your story, but I have a connection that I made. Did you hear that story? It's an internet story, so it could be true, it may be not. But supposedly this young lady goes on the internet just crying and crying because she got left on a date. She got stuck with the bill. And of course, when you all hear that, your heart just breaks that poor lady. Yes? You hear the headline, right?
Yeah.
Well, then when you hear the guy's version, yeah, because she just swallowed 48 oysters. She did oysters, ate 48 of them.
Why?
I don't know, but he walked out on her because
Who can eat 48 oysters?
I don't know, Jamie, but that's what I'm saying. It kind of grossed me out. And when you talk about sushi, in my mind, I'm just picturing this lady sitting there sucking down 48 oysters. And how gross is that?
But oysters are not sushi.
It's the same thing. It's slimy and it's gross.
It's not.
If it's slimy and gross, it doesn't matter if you eat it with a fork or you slurp it down. It's still slimy and gross.
Sushi is not slimy and gross.
You want me to leave you on the date? You go eat sushi around me. I'm leaving you there. And people are going to all wonder why, unless you're such a horrible man, to walk out and leave you with the bill. Probably I'll leave you with the bill.
Right, I'll pay my own bill. I'll pay my own bill. I don't care. I'm going to eat sushi. But sushi is not slimy at all. And you would love ceviche.
And so Jamie also went on a work trip where her boss put some peer pressure on everyone to try some oysters, and you ended up liking them.
I loved oysters.
And I'm like, are you what's wrong with you? You should be too old to have to fall for peer pressure at your age.
Well, okay, so I don't have a fear of food like you do. And I am adventurous in my tasting. I ate snail with Stephanie. And it was delicious. It was hands down delicious. And if I would take him and not tell him what it is and he ate it, he would love it too. But he can't think about it and eat it. And cooked oysters are delicious too. Listen, I grew up in a family
I
that
don't
had
judge.
a
But
rotation
I can
of
pick and
about
choose who I
5
kiss
meals.
on too, and I ain't kissing on nobody eating sushi, oysters, or whatever else you said.
You kiss the dogs.
The dogs don't eat oysters or sushi.
No, they
Jane.
eat poop.
Well, and it's not oysters and sushi. And what else did you say a minute ago? What else did you eat? Oysters, sushi, and what else?
Snails.
Snails.
Escargot.
Yeah, come on, man. No, my mouth is not going there. My mouth is not going there.
But you eat crawfish. You've eaten crawfish.
I eat Texan, Jamie. I eat Texan. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm adventurous in my eating, and if other people around me are enjoying it, like sincerely enjoying it, then there is a curiosity to try it. Now, there are some things that I don't like. I don't like crawfish. It's not really my thing at all. Not my thing at all. I don't like scallops. I don't really like sausage. Like the sausages that Lester eats, not really my thing either. But I am adventurous in my taste. So when I'm on work trips and it's like, I don't really want to say peer pressure, but the opportunity is there, I typically will try it. Lester will not ever try it. Like if you were in my career and went to some of those dinners, you would have starved.
Yes, I would rather starve. I would rather starve during dinner, tell everyone I'm sorry, but I'm sick in my stomach. And then when I would leave, swing by Whataburger or something to get me a real meal, my kind of meal. Funny story. When I'm taking Lex home, Lex loves fried chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, he loves fried chicken, but he only eats the drumsticks. He only wants drumsticks. And the problem is you can't really go to a fried chicken place like Hart's or Popeyes or whatever, KFC, and ask for only drumsticks. Because if you do, they never have enough. They have to always make you wait 20 minutes to cook some for you. And so, when you're already driving and you have to meet his mom at a certain time in a parking lot, it's just hard to have to wait an extra 20 minutes for drumsticks. So I had to message his mom and let her know that your son wants drumsticks and it's going to be 20 minutes. And but no, Lex is like his dad. He eats what I eat. And of course, I'll eat any kind of fried chicken. I'm good with that. But the kind of things that you and your family and your coworkers eat, that's just not my stuff. That rhubarb stuff. Rhubarb. Not doing that either. I guess I'm glad that I am who I am and I was born where I was and I made it this far in life eating what I eat, Jamie. I think I'll be okay.
Y'all eat some stuff that I don't like either. Like you eat a lot of beans, and I'm okay with some beans, but like you all like love beans, and then you all make this is something that a lot of people like that I don't. Black-eyed peas
and cabbage. Oh yes,
I can't do it. That is a meal that you're gonna have to go to your mama's for. Like,
here's an example. This would be fun. So today, Jamie and I went to Golden Corral. Let's tell everybody how different our meals were. This is why
they're never the same.
This is why I love things like Golden Corral. So Jamie goes, and your very first thing that you get was a salad. Mm-hmm. Now, tell everybody what was on that salad plate. Things that I would never put in my mouth.
Well, so it's, romaine lettuce. You mean tell them what's on the salad?
No, but you had a lot of other like salady kind of stuff from the salad bar.
Yeah, so like there's like tuna salad, there's a crab salad, there's a pasta salad that has a mayonnaise base in it.
No, you had all this stuff in your plate, little pieces.
Yeah.
This is her plate, and there's all these different kinds of salad.
Yeah, like 2 bites of each. And then like a big salad that has like, sunflower seeds, mushrooms, cucumbers, broccoli, ranch,
that's
egg,
our first
cheese.
Trip to the serving line.
Yeah.
She comes back with that plate. I come back with white rice, a bed of white rice covered with roast. And I mean carrots and roast and lots of gravy. And I think they cut up some celery in there. What's all in the roast? Potatoes. And so she's sitting here eating that whole plate. And I'm like, why are you wasting? You're taking up all that good space with this junk.
It's not junk.
Get yourself something that's going to fill you.
Those are my favorite. Like that is my, every time I go to Golden Corral, that's my first plate. And
no, my first
a
plate,
cup of chili.
I go right for it. I go for it. And then when you go back, what do you come back with? What's on your second round?
It is such a menagerie of things. So I always get the baked beans I just said I don't like beans, but I love baked beans. Baked beans, a little, and when I say like what's on my plate, I literally have 2 bites of everything. I am the tiniest little scooper. We went today at like noonish, so there was a little bit of leftover breakfast. Today I had a piece of bacon. And a little scoop of chicken pot pie, a hush puppy. What else? I think that was it. And a roll.
A chili.
Oh, yeah, and a cup of chili.
And so then I go on my second trip. We normally go at the same time. I don't like to leave her by herself. She hates that. And she can leave me. I don't care. I'm fine. But we take off at the same time. And what's really horrible is even though we went on our first trip together, she goes to the salad, I go to get what I want. I'm done with mine in 30 seconds.
He eats so
I scarf
fast.
mine down, and I'm ready to go back for round 2. And she's like, still just like she wants to talk.
I don't want to
She wants to have a talk during lunch.
I chew slow.
Just eat, Jamie. And she's like, and she's trying to talk.
Lester can eat a full meal in 37 seconds. And I don't know how one can swallow things that fast.
I can,
because I chew my food.
To my second trip to the serving line, I come back with yellow rice as a bed of rice covered with delicious pinto beans. Oh, I love some pinto beans. And then I circle that whole thing around with shrimp, fried shrimp. I make it look really pretty. It looks beautiful.
It's very.
And I put all the tails are shaped where all the tails are kind of like hanging off the plate. Kind of like you would, if you ever get like a shrimp cocktail, all the little tails are hanging out this way over here. I don't have a cup. I have a plate and all my tails hang over my plate. I shape them that way and it looks really pretty. And so I come back, set my plate down and have all these little shrimp. And each one I pick up, I use them like a finger food. I bite this end off. I put the tail right back where it was at. And they all stay right there on the plate, really nice and pretty. And then I eat the bowl of rice or the plate of rice and the beans from the middle of it. Yeah. And today we were in a hurry, so we had no time for round 3. Round 3 would have been dessert for her. I skipped the dessert. I skipped salad and I skipped dessert. I don't go to either one of the ends. I go right to the middle where all the good stuff is at. So it is what it is. Why are we talking about that? Have you noticed where this live has gone? In the course of this live, we started off talking about Ernie, which, okay, very relevant. And then somehow we're talking about Jake, my dad, Kim, Dan, sushi,
Brienne,
other gross stuff like, what was the other gross stuff? Oysters, and now we're talking about Olive Garden or Golden Corral. What a live. I'm so sorry, guys. Why do you put up with this? Don't y'all have better things to do, like watch football? Because football's on TV right now.
Are you sitting here watching your phone?
No, I'm not watching my phone. Even though
it is set up right next to him with the scoring.
All you can see is the time. But if you notice on my phone right here, I have a special setup where y'all can see the score of our fantasy game. Can y'all see the score? And I am beating the guy that I'm playing right now. Can y'all see all that? Yeah, I'm like winning big time. And so I'm feeling pretty good about week 1 of fantasy football. I may not play with the Vegas League, but I can sure play with the Plum Grove crowd. I'm holding my own. Anywho's, what else you got, Jamie? What else you got?
We were also in and out of Atwood's today in 7 minutes, which was a record. So we had to hurry because let's
tell the funny story about the phone call I got last time I went to Atwood's. So I go to Atwood's and I make a video about how long the line was. And it really annoyed me how you go somewhere, you drive darn near 30 minutes to get there, you go do your shopping, and then you have to wait as long in a line as it took you to get there. There's something wrong with that. So I was ranting, and sometimes I was trying to vent, and so I vent to you all. Well, how would I know that when I get home, I get a phone call from a number that I didn't recognize, but it was local. So I answer it, and it's the manager of Atwood's. And he's like, could I speak to Lester Morrow? I'm like, speaking. And he told me who he was. And he said that he saw the video, and he just wanted to clarify something, that even though I said on my video I stood in line for 30 minutes, they went to their cameras and looked, and I was only in line for really 15 minutes. And I'm like, bud, what do you want me to do? I was off a few minutes or so.
Mr. Patience here. Mr. Get to a traffic light and somebody doesn't go instantly. Patience.
Well, I did not apologize, but I says, listen, I says, that's besides the point. I says, maybe I was off a little bit on my time. I says, but the bottom line is I'm still having to wait. And if you're going to spend all the time that you spent in calling me and asking me why I said I was there for 30 minutes in line when really it was a lot less than that, then why not spend that same time and go find someone to get into the front and push people through? I just don't get that for nothing, Jamie. I don't get it for anything. I mean, but what I understand from a lot of folks who work in retail is that that's the way it is. They always want to have the front of the store and all the aisles and everything stocked up nice and pretty. And then they don't really spend much time working with their cashiers. So I wasn't blaming the cashier. I still think that any amount of waiting, I mean, I get it. You're going to wait behind a couple of people, but
Lester
you don't
has
just
no
wait.
weight in his soul at this point in his life.
Like I said to the gentleman, he was a very nice guy. Don't get me wrong, very nice guy. And I says, listen to me. I says, we are very busy people. And I speak for myself, but I says, people are busy in this day and age. They don't have time to stand in a line. Now, we all have to stand in lines for some things. I get it. But for having a brand new store in a really nice part of town where people are wanting to come in and see your product and shop, and they're all having the same grunts and growls as this guy over here. I wasn't the only guy.
Well, here's
I
part
might have
of
been
the
the only
reason.
voice he heard. What?
Here's part of the reason. When someone buys a trailer or something that has to be titled, it is the same cashier checkout line as somebody who's just buying a bag of feed. So that person that has to be titled and go through all this extra paperwork and all these extra things is technically holding up the regular cashier
Lester's
line.
not being a diva. I'm not being a diva. I don't expect any special service. I think that every customer there deserves to be out of there faster than what they have been. Anyway, get this. Today we go in.
There's
no multiple checkers, and there was no wait. So when Jamie says we were in and out in 7 minutes, guess what? We were.
That included the checkout.
That includes the checkout. We went right to what we needed. We got it. We went right up. There was one guy in front of me. Jamie ran to the restroom. I went right in, waited behind one guy. I paid, and I was in the truck. I pulled the truck around to the front and picked her up in the front door. And that was a very pleasant Atwood's experience. So say what you want. I'm not being a diva, but maybe it worked. Maybe it worked.
They're a new store, probably with new employees. And some of us have a little bit more patience than others do when it comes to things.
Jamie, Mel said it. Lester, you fixed Atwood's. Thank you, Mel. Now, don't you think Atwood should compensate me for that? Should I get something in return?
They're probably going to kick us out.
They're going to have a picture of me on the door.
Yeah.
Do not serve this guy.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
It'll be me
No, it'll be you in your dang Goodwill outfit is what it'll be.
I know, right? Anywho, I love that store, though. I do. Don't get me wrong. I also love Tractor Supply, which I'm trying to be loyal to them. Even though Jamie went on a little runaround, she ran around. She ran around on us, y'all. I was gone. I took Lex and LE to eat Saturday, and while I was gone, Jamie did a little running around town, stopping by other feed stores, talking to people who work there, even customers, talking about gardening. Did you video any of that?
No.
You want to talk about what you did now?
You're to give away some of my video.
Oh, you have a video, do you?
I went to, but not of the conversation. I went to one of our local feed stores, Livingston Farm and Feed, because I'm looking for a very specific feed for our alpacas. And when Lester and I were eating at Manny's about a week ago, the owner of that feed store walked over and goes, "Lester, what do I have to do to get your business?"
I know.
And we were like,
because he watches our videos, he knows I go to Tractor Supply in Atwoods.
He's like, "I can get anything that you need." So me being me, I'm like, "Can you get the alpaca feed?" It turns out he can. He can get 2 different kinds. So
he can also buy his own special ostrich mix.
Yes. So after I spent some time talking to him about those types of things, and I handed over, like, if you can get this horse feed and this, I was like, my perfect dream situation is I want to pull up once a month with the truck and have a wrapped pallet of everything I need for that month.
And you call me the diva? You're thinking that I'm being diva? Y'all, you don't hear what she said? What she wants to do is drive up once a month and have a pallet loaded onto her truck.
I'm going to pay for it.
Who gets that kind of treatment, Jamie? Not this guy.
I asked, and he goes, "Yeah, we can do that. We can absolutely do that." That would be fantastic, because that would save us, again, going to the feed store every 5th day or 4th day or whatever to get the feed for the horses, get goat feed, get everything else. So we made that change in the past with the cow feed and the feeders and everything like that, and found a solution that made your life easier.
Much easier, absolutely.
So now, who's the diva?
And it saves money. I know that buying the, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to stop. Go ahead, keep going.
I said, and who's the diva? So I just asked, I was totally okay if I had to go there once a week to be able to get that. And he was like, because he asked me, how many a week do you want? And I was like, could I just do it once a month? And that led to could I just get everything that I would normally buy and have to go pick up from multiple stores? Because we do get some things at Tractor Supply. We get some things at Atwoods. Some things I have to order. So if I could get it all in one place, and I could get it all one time a month, where it is literally that I don't have to load and unload and do all these things, and it just gets put in a nice little package. Yeah, that's really that. I want that. That's my order.
Diane says, if I'll go with you, you can teach me how it's done. Diane, sorry, I don't have the assets. I don't have the assets that Jamie has to get things done.
That is not what
people don't flock to me to try to find out how they can better service me and make me more. They don't accommodate to me.
That gentleman came up to Lester in the restaurant, didn't even know my name, knew Lester.
So his name is Matthew, and here's what I want to do. I want to tell his story. Guys, don't forget that our roots are I'm a Survivor Sanctuary because we're all survivors of something.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, Matthew, that's the owner of Livingston
Farm and Feed.
I
think that's what it's called.
He has a hell of a story.
Yeah.
Man, he got a hell of a story. Talk about a survivor of something. So I would love to one day go in there. He's a really wonderful guy and very well-spoken man. So funny. Everything out of his mouth is just hilarious. But he has a survivor story that I think you guys would just love to hear. And I want to at some point I know we're very busy right now.
Yeah.
But I would like to one day find ourselves getting back to our roots and telling more survivor stories, because it's real fun now. Our channels are fun, able to watch you with what you're doing with the horses and with the gardening and with the trips that you take to the flea markets and the resale shops and the antique stuff. And I think that I really love what I do too with the cows and, the big birds and all the stuff that we do with the animals. But there's some really good stories that we used to talk about and tell, and we've kind of stopped doing that. But I'll tell you what, Matthew has a heck of a story.
Yeah, he did ask me about when you're going to
come I did. I says, Matthew says, I'll tell you what I'll do. I said, I'll come in there and shop one day, but only if I can get you to tell me your story. Like, I know his story, but you don't know it.
Yeah.
And Tracy says, share the story. I'm not going to share it now. I want Matthew to share it.
We don't know it all.
We know a lot of it. Well, yeah.
Well, either way, I think it would be really powerful to hear it from him.
I do too. And it would be a lot more powerful hearing it from the voice of.
Yeah.
Jamie and I are blessed, or maybe we're cursed, that you guys share some of your stories. And
no, very blessed.
Sometimes we think, man, we thought we had it rough. We thought we had it rough.
most of the time.
And sometimes the stories that you guys share make us realize how blessed we are and how, now, like you say, we're all survivors of something. It may not be, medical issues or things, devastating like losing a child or losing a spouse, the way many of y'all have had to overcome, losing, your parents. We haven't had to deal with any of that kind of stuff. But hearing Matthew's story is powerful, and hearing a lot of your stories are just as powerful. But
I did get into gardening and fruit tree conversation yesterday with him and some other customers, and I met the guy that owns the concrete plant and the metal building place down the road, and then I learned about another place that used to have alpacas and why they stopped having them. And I got the Livingston scoop yesterday, but I also got the why my apple trees have died every single year scoop, and what I'm supposed to do and what else I need to do this fall. And I got into like garden talk and planting talk in ways that only Jason from Cog Hill and I have gotten into. And I got a full education yesterday, and then I felt relevant and excited because I was the only one who was able to get fruit to grow on citrus trees. And I was like, oh, let me show you pictures of my oranges. And
they're like, oh, yeah, let's see them.
Yeah.
I can just see all these men all gathered around Jamie on her phone, flipping through all of her pictures of her oranges.
All I know is I spent an hour in that feed store yesterday.
Melons? You showed them the melons too, Jamie?
You're so rotten.
I'm kidding. I'm just playing.
Anyway, it was I felt like your dad, how when he used to go to that feed store and like hang out.
My dad would still go there if the guy didn't shut down. The guy shut down his feed store. My dad would go to the feed store without even needing feed. He would just go to hang out and talk to the guy. If I ever do that, please tell me. I'll go talk to cows. I will go every day and hang out with the cows. Jamie's like, why aren't you gone so long? You just have to go fill up their waters, right? You don't have to feed them because they have a feed buggy. I'm like, Jamie, I have to visit with them and we have to talk. And I can do that with the cows all darn day and never get bored. And then my dad can do that same thing at the feed store. My dad would go to the feed store. Here's what my dad would do. And I don't think he still does this because he has you all now. But before my dad had you all, this was my dad's day, right? He would retire from school teaching and he drove a bus for a little while, just to give him something to do. He wanted something to do. So his driving his bus would be a morning and afternoon route, but he would never come home. And my mom was like, how come you never come home? Well, here's why. Because he'd get off his bus, I don't know, 9:30, 10 o'clock, and he'll drive over to McCoy's. Now, McCoy's is our building materials, right? My dad would go to McCoy's where they give you free coffee, and he would get him a cup of coffee, and he would stand there by the coffee maker and just talk to people.
I know.
He would hang out, and he would talk to people at McCoy's. When he got done with McCoy's, he'd drive to the feed store where they also had a coffee maker. And he'd pour him a cup of coffee, and he'll drink it black. You don't need creamers like I do. I have to have flavored stuff. They would never let me drink their coffee.
No. Well, they would let you drink it, but they wouldn't let
me bring them my own French vanilla creamer.
Yeah.
And then my dad would drive over to the feed store and hang out with the feed store guys and sit there on the porch, stand there by the counter, and he would just drink his coffee and talk to people. Finally, mom's like wondering why dad's never coming home, like he's having some kind of affair or something. Oh, in a way, he is. He's getting all of his kicks from McCoy's and the feed store. And then, well, it's the same thing. Well, sort of it is.
It is not the same thing.
You can emotionally cheat, Jamie. You can emotionally cheat.
I thought you were saying that your dad's visits to those were the same as me yesterday.
Oh, well, sort of. You got your emotional kicks from sharing things with other men. Did you not? You know what I'm saying. You were sharing things that you don't share with me because I don't show enough interest. I don't ask the right questions or whatever. But bottom line is my dad would finally come home for lunch. My mom would have his lunch all made. They would eat. He'd fall asleep on the chair. He would eat and fall asleep on the chair and have to be woken up in time to get back to his bus route. And mom was like, why does he even come home? What's wrong with you? Why are you making that face? I'm talking about my dad here. Anyway, that was my dad's life before he found you all on social media. Now my dad has other stuff to come home for. You all. So Hope you're happy, everybody. You saved my mom and dad's marriage. And then you're going to probably turn around and ruin it by making my dad spend all the time with you all, because that's what he does now. Tell me this is not true. My dad cannot. My dad at his age, how old is my dad? 78. My dad's 78, 79 years old, and he cannot put his phone down. But it's not because he's like browsing Snapchat or he's not doing TikToks. No, he's replying to emails. He replies to emails all darn day. Does he not?
What time are you heading to jail?
Now? I got to go. I got to go. I got cows to check on. Are you trying to rush me off of here?
No, I'm just saying you're in the doghouse right now.
What did I do?
You said that I was having an emotional affair at the feed store.
I'm playing. People who know me know that I'm just
joking.
Because
we don't talk gardening. I talk gardening to you and you're like, yeah. It's the same way when you talk football to me.
Go ahead, Jamie. Talk away. I'm just going to do I'm playing. Now, as far as the JL Ranch goes, let's go ahead and give an update on all 3 channels right quick, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, this is the most important part of the life. Everything else has just been a bunch of rambling. Here goes the serious stuff. At the JL Ranch property, we've had 2 calves born this week. They are, one little female was born to Maryland. We named her Norma Jean. We did that by popular vote. Norma Jean was the winner of a very democratic popular vote. She won by a landslide. 2 of the other names that were suggested, that were highly suggested and people liked, were Monroe and what was the other one?
I don't remember.
Oh my God, I forgot too. What's wrong with me? I completely forgot. Bottom line is Norma Jean won by a landslide. And so that little girl's doing wonderful, y'all. She's doing so. Kennedy. Thank you. It was Kennedy. And so she's doing wonderful. She's about a week old, I think now, and she's found her legs. You all know what that means. When a cow or a horse or any baby animal finds their legs, they finally realize that they got something there that can help them move.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun watching them babies learn to move. It's not very fun watching those poor mamas having to chase them down. And that's what we're experiencing right now at the JL Ranch, watching Norma Jean just use her legs, and she's running all around the place. And Marilyn's like saying, slow down, you're going to fall. Stop, you're going to hurt yourself. Come back, stay close to me.
She's the epitome of a first-time mom. Marilyn is.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, just like very jerky and reactive to this baby that's just like out there freestyling it. And it is really adorable.
And then we also had Gracie, Lord, she finally popped her calf out a couple of days back, y'all. And now it is a little boy. We found out today. We did a real close, a physical inspection, and it's a little bull. And then a lot of people really like the name Lord Grayson. We already have Prince Willie Joe. And now, I don't know, we've not put it up for a vote yet, but I think that we're going to pretty soon. And a lot of folks I don't know why they like that name so much, but Lord Grayson. And I am completely on board with that one if that ends up being the name, Lord Grayson. But he's still a little fella. He's still the kind of little guy that has not really discovered his legs, even though he can walk. He moves around a little bit here and there. But mom likes to tell him where to stay put while she goes and does her thing, and he likes to stay here and kind of hide.
That boy needs to like eat double duty, because mama is like bulging. Like I have not seen a bag do that before. So I know he's eating. We watched him eat. But her like milk production, I think that he was overdue is really what it boiled down to.
Well, I'm so happy that I even said, Jamie, a couple of times, I'm not tooting my own horn, but because the fact he was overdue, it's more than likely going to be a male, a bull, a boy, because they have outies, not innies. There, simple as that. And so we were right. It was, in fact, a little male, a bull, and Lord Grayson is what we're calling him for now until we do our official vote. But more, I hope y'all support me on this over here. I'm just saying.
It doesn't matter. You'll name him that anyway.
No. Okay, Jamie, y'all can call him Rip, but his official name was
There you
Santorum.
go. See?
So y'all can call him whenever you want to. Even the person who wants to call him Sir Lancelot, that you want to call him that, go ahead. But his official paperwork is going to have Lord Grayson on there somewhere, y'all. I have to do the paperwork myself. I physically fill that out. They don't let you do it online. There's little block letters. You know, they have like 30 spaces of little blocks. You know what I'm talking about. You've helped me do it.
Yeah.
And you have to literally put every letter in 1 letter per block. So you only have 30 characters. So Lord Grayson, and then whatever else y'all come up with, we can probably squeeze in there. But anywho, and so we have one more mom who's expecting mom. That would be Pearl. And so we are keeping an eye on her. Now, what we kind of worry about is the fact that we have a lot of rain coming.
But you have 2 more expecting moms.
Who?
You still have Jezebel.
Not anytime soon.
No.
No, Jezebel had Trudy here, so that's not near time for her. But what I'm saying is that we're on baby watch for.
Yeah.
We're on baby watch.
Yeah.
So we're on baby watch for one more mom. That's Pearl. And we are hoping that it doesn't happen during those really rainy days and nights coming up, because everyone knows we have a little bit of a low spot over the JL Ranch. And for some reason, those cows like to go to that low spot to have their babies. So that means that I may not see you much Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, because I'm going to have to be there watching my cows.
Yeah, we have a tropical disturbance out in the Gulf right now. It probably will become a named storm tomorrow. That's what we expect. It is slated to hit Tuesday afternoon, possibly Wednesday morning, depending upon if it stalls or not. It's not expected to be a big windstorm. It is expected to be a large rainstorm. So right now, they're calling for 12 inches of rain with that storm over 3 days. So we will see. But we'll see what it turns into as well. Right now, it's a tropical incident. Is that what it's called? It's not a tropical storm yet. It's not a hurricane yet. Could turn into anything. Could turn into nothing. But they are pretty sure it's going to turn to something. Oh, already named Francine. Well, what do you know about that? That's come up in the last few hours. So it's a hurricane then.
Because they only name hurricane. They name tropical storms. They name tropical storms. So it's Francine. Okay, interesting. And so that's going to be coming through here Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. We'll keep an eye on it, guys. We'll be prepared. We'll watch the river levels and all that good stuff. So not to worry about that. Don't worry about things, y'all. We'll take care of it. And then what's going on with everything in Plum Grove? I can speak for that. I will not tell the whole story. I want you to watch the videos. But I do know that Ellie and Megan are doing the same things that we're doing over here, and they're trying to do an entire overhaul of the pastures and a lot of the things that maybe could contribute to some of the issues they've had. You know, don't forget they had the flooding there, and they've had a little bit of a parasite issue, which is why Ernie and both Okie got sick. But they have some really neat things they're working on, and I will let you see that from them when they post those videos. They may have already done it. I have not checked the internet in the last most of the day.
Did people see your workout here today?
Okay. Yes. Now there's going to be Facebook people will catch it in the morning first thing. Okay. But I will say this. Pig Trudy is making my life real difficult. And here's what's going on. I'll just kind of give you an idea of what's going on. Jamie has a little video she could show you. You want to show that? If you airdrop that to my computer, I can show you all what Pig Trudy's done to my handiwork. Guys, we worked so hard to get everything ready for Ernie. And then we worked all morning yesterday getting things ready for our goats and our pigs. And you have to see what Pig Trudy's come by to do. I'm going to show you all. I can do that. If you'll give me 1 second, I'll pull it to the big screen. We can all watch it together. So I need to pull this up to here, and then I'll pull this over to here. Guys, just hold your breath, okay? And then don't give me a hard time.
Hey, here's just a little snippet of what you're coming home to.
That Pig Trudy has gone by. Let me guess. Big again. Remove that. Trudy has gone by, and because she can't really reach her head over and eat the goat feed, oatmeal's not enough for her. We give her own oatmeal. That's not enough. She wants to help the goats eat, but she can't reach her little fat. She don't have a neck, y'all. She has no neck. This is like Trudy over here, but she cannot reach herself over to eat with no neck. And so what does she do? She pushes them over. She goes up and she takes her head and she just pushes the entire thing over. All the grain, all the hay falls across the floor. Why are you all laughing? Why are you laughing if that's not funny? That's not
It was
funny.
funny to me.
It's not funny. Trudy knocks everything out. So now all the goats who are supposed to be eating off the ground, now they're all trying to hurry and eat on the ground so Trudy doesn't eat everything. And she goes by each one of them and knocks them over.
I think we're gonna have to concrete those in.
Well, we can't. We have to have a way to clean them if we need to clean them.
We can still clean them.
I have to drill holes.
There are holes in them already.
So how about we just zip tie them to the fence?
Then she's still gonna plow through them.
Bottom line is, Trudy does not want to share. She wants access to everything.
Here was the real problem.
Here's an idea. We could bury the legs.
That's what I meant.
We could just bury the legs down to where Trudy can walk up and eat with the goats.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh.
But put them in concrete.
In the ground.
Yes.
Not like
Not above the ground. No, like literally put them in concrete in the ground.
So yeah, so we've been trying to give. So this is 2 days. This is 2 days, and it's 2 days in a row that Trudy's going by wreaking havoc on all the work that we've done out there. So
the problem is that
I love her.
Lester fed today before he left. So when it came time to normal feed time, they forgot and expected to be fed again.
She was like,
So Lester told me,
4:30.
Don't feed them again because I already fed them.
Yeah, I says, don't feed them again.
And out there, I'm hearing like, boom, tang, tang, tang. And then there's goats screaming and boom. And then clunk, clunk, clunk. And I'm like, oh my God.
Trudy is just running around knocking these feed troughs over.
Trudy was a linebacker today to those feed troughs.
I love her. But here's the thing. If you're saying to separate her, you can't, because she has to have access to the pastures. And
she has to have access to the shelters.
And she needs a shelter. And she needs to, so there's no way to separate her. There's not a way to. And she has to also be with the goats. She thinks she's a goat, y'all. So I love her so much. But she's really, really taken all the hard work that we did to make sure our goats could have a really easy time eating off the ground. No more parasite issues ever, maybe, hopefully. And if she's not knocking all this feed onto the ground anyway so she can get to it. Wow.
Yeah, she was a total football player today.
All right, so I've talked about the sanctuary there in Plum Grove. I've talked about the cows over at the JL. Now it's your turn to talk about what you're up to with your horses. Talk about the wonderful news about Voodoo.
Voodoo is doing really well. His wound is completely healed shut. His range of motion is really good. I've been stretching him. And today was the day where like he did it with me versus me like in me doing all of the work. And today he like put his legs out for me, which was really awesome. And I think that he's on the right track. The only thing is I said that this morning and then this afternoon when I looked out there, the rest of the horses were eating hay and he went to the loafing shed.
I saw that. Yeah.
And I was like, oh no. Oh no. I went out there.
I think he knows his limits. I think that he knows when he's independent enough to realize that, hey, I'm feeling a little bit tired.
Yeah.
I don't need to be a part of the herd right now. You guys can come if you want to, but I'll be in the barn. Yeah. I'm going to go stand by the fan. I'm going to go over there and hang out.
So I went out, checked. Of course, I brought him a peppermint. Maybe need to soothe his tummy. And then I just listened to his stomach. I picked up all of his feet. I looked in his mouth. I just wanted to like triple check that nothing, because I'm a little paranoid about that too. And whenever I walked out, he followed me and he came out with the rest of the horses. So maybe he just needed a break. I'm not sure.
I think so. I've watched him walk off on his own a few times.
He definitely does that throughout the day. So, but Ivy was in there with him too. And I thought maybe Ivy wasn't feeling so great and they just decided to go take a break together. But nonetheless, Voodoo's doing really well. And I actually didn't make a horse video this weekend because I was very focused on Ernie and project I was doing. But probably tomorrow afternoon, I'm hoping to be able to get some swim time in with Storm and a video as well.
All right. Well, don't be mean to me if I post a horse video, because I did record the horses in the pond. And I will post that since you didn't get a chance to record your beautiful horses. I guess I'll have to do it. It's okay. We tag team over here, y'all. We tag team it. We do it all.
I also I do have a kitten video coming out though, because I did do some things there. So there's a little update that'll come out on that probably Tuesday. That's probably where that will surface. But some very intimate Ernie things tomorrow. And then as far as that goes, just, be patient with me as I get the updates on what's going on, and just know that the care for him is a priority before the video is for me as well.
I just want to end by saying that life really is a roller coaster, and the ups and downs. And I will say that it's wonderful when things are going good. We can sit here and share those moments with you all, and we can always say thank you for being there and helping us. And we always remind you that we wouldn't be able to do these things if it weren't for you. And I hope that you hear me when I say that. And if I sound like a broken record, then let it be broken, repeating how much you've done for us and this family, guys. And then when we do have moments like the voodoo incident, or with Oki and Ernie and other things that we've experienced that were hard, you were there for us then too. And I don't think that there's any channel that could ask for a more loyal audience. And I don't know how you feel about this, but in my experiences, loyalty is a hard commodity to come by. And you folks are the most loyal people. I'm going to get emotional, so I'm going to stop talking. But you're the most loyal people who put up with us through the ups and downs. And I know we can sometimes disagree. That's normal. But you still trust us to get through it. And you offer suggestions, and you are just there. So thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
We're really grateful that y'all take the time to spend evenings and mornings with us, and to allow us into your homes and phones, and giving us the greatest gift of all, which is your time. That is something we can never say thank you enough for.
It just, I said I was going to stop talking, but I can't. But earlier, I guess, if we remember back in the beginning of the live, when someone talked about the all survivors of something, and you don't really compare apples to oranges, necessarily. But I will say this, and I really will let you go. But one of the hardest things that I had to overcome was going through a rough spot without somebody there, and it was hard losing your home and losing your vehicle and losing some of your possessions and then losing animals. But I will say, looking back, one of the hardest things was doing that when I lost people around me as well. I don't mean, physically, but I mean just the fact that when you don't have much to offer, a lot of people who you thought would be there were not, and you were. And that's just such a huge blessing. So thank you so very much for that. All right. Thank y'all for watching, and we will end the video the same.
How many get this lucky in life, huh? How many can say they've ever done this over here? Had a calf put their head in their lap and just love. Oh my goodness gracious, sweetie. You're such a pretty girl. I love her. Oh no, we got trouble. We got trouble brewing. We got trouble over here. Oh no. Hard to starboard, Lester, hard to starboard. We got trouble on the horizon over here on the starboard bow. Hey, settle down. Oh my goodness gracious. I have so much love. I have so much. She's looking me in the legs. Okay. Baby, please. People are going to talk about me. They're going to say horrible things about me. Letting all y'all lick all over me. Y'all, I did not invite this loving, okay? But I can't turn it down neither. Oh, them nubs hurt, sweetie. Guys, I got nubs sticking me all over the place. I got so many Oh, stop it, that hurts. She's biting in the knees. Okay, I'm leaving. Jeez.